I want to go ahead and congratulate Miss Wonder Woman last weekend for having to go over $100 million in the box office after their first weekend of being in the theater. So, congratulations to you, Wonder Woman. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Justice League and future DCEU movies in the future. So, congratulations. Thanks a lot for giving us an awesome DC movie ever since The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. So, I'm very happy that that was a successful film. But I really wish I could say the same for The Mummy, but we'll go ahead and get to that in just a few. Hi, I'm Joe Carrillo, and this is another episode of Awesome Joe's Awesome Movie Review, plus a playback of the 1999 movie The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, Arnold Vosloo. And then we're going to have a movie review of the Mummy movie, which I saw today earlier, and starring Tom Cruise. And I would just like to say that when it comes to the 99 version with Brendan Fraser, I gotta say these movies were an awesome summertime movie. Popcorn, soda, everything. And I had a blast having to watch these movies in the theaters back in the day. Because when these movies were first released, it was a time to where superhero movies weren't, or franchise movies didn't really take place during the summertime. It was just an average, normal movie. Go to the movies, have some popcorn, soda, nachos, pickles, hot dogs, whatever. And just having a good time at the movies. There wasn't really any connections. There was no universes connected to shared universes connected to each other. So it was just a normal movie, and I had a lot of fun with these types of movies in the theaters. So that I was really happy about The Mummy, I did enjoy the original back in the 1930s, but I would have to say that this one, the 99 version, is a splendid film, and I'm just so happy that a movie like this still exists. And even to this day, I hear that a lot of fans of these films actually want more. You would expect more. So when the third film came out, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, we won't really get into much detail about that, but just the fact of having to know that that movie was going to be released, it was such an excitement knowing that there was going to be another Mummy film. But when the movie was released, the movie was a complete disappointment. You would think that it would be an awesome film having regards towards the first two films, but instead it was a massive drop. And if it was a successful film, we probably would have seen more. But other than that, they didn't go anywhere further. But now, since we are getting this brand new shared universe by Universal called Dark Universe, which we're going to be having so many different types of the Universal monster characters, like of course the Mummy, Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and so on and so forth, etc. So we're gonna go ahead and get into a little bit more detail on that. But just to give you a set of rules here based off of my movie reviews, the 99 version of The Mummy is going to be a spoilers video. So if you haven't watched The Mummy yet, go ahead and watch it and let me know what you guys think about it. And then go ahead and watch my video and enjoy. So. But then also when it comes to the 2017 version of The Mummy that just was released out today, it is a non-spoilers review, and I will be doing a spoilers review of it when the movie is released on DVD. That way it gives enough of you movie fans out there to have the time to watch the movie and get adapted to it based off of your own personal opinions, just like compared to mine. So it just gives you guys a little bit more time to adjust to it. So those are my rules, and also another rule too is that it's not very fair to this new 2017 Mummy to be compared to the 99 version of The Mummy, because it's not really fair to rate it based off of comparison. It's just it's its own movie alone. So it's not in a cheating factor. So let's go ahead and get started with the 99 version of The Mummy. I love Brendan Fraser. I think that he is a talented actor. He's great in all these adventure epic movies. I was always looking forward to seeing him in his films. He's not very much of a big actor nowadays anymore. But back in the 90s and in the early 2000s, he was a big hit. Every time when he would pop up in a movie, people would be so excited to go and see his performances. And I was really sure that we would be able to see him a lot more today, but he slipped down a lot to where he's not very known as a popular actor anymore. But to me and to all of you original Mummy fans, I think that you guys believe that Brendan Fraser will always be an awesome actor no matter what. And then, of course, we have the most beautiful Rachel Weisz, who she is also a talented actress, who is actually an Academy Award winner as well, and she does awesome in these Mummy movies. And I wish that she had a I wish that she would have attended in the third Mummy movie, but of course she did not. She had other things planned on her schedule, so she wasn't able to attend to the film. So we had her replaced. I forgot her name, but Maria Bello. I believe that's what her name was. But anyways, the first Mummy movie in '99, I think that it's an awesome, epic movie. I had a lot of fun, a lot of blast with it, and I know that I'm sure you guys did too if you guys are a fan of the Mummy movies. And then we also have Arnold Vosloo, who is, of course, the Mummy. His name is Imhotep, and I think that he just did the character splendidly well. The story is very original. It's a pretty long movie, about 2 hours long, and it's a fascinating movie. The only problem that I ever did have with it is that it didn't feel very realistic. There were so many parts in there that didn't. I understand it's a PG-13 movie. It's not a rated R movie, so you don't be expecting any blood or gore happening. But at least making it feel a little bit more realistic to pull yourself into the movie, to feel like you're actually in the movie. So. But other than that, I mean, the movie is fantastically well done. Directed by Stephen Sommers, and I love Stephen Sommers' work. I think that he does an awesome job with directing his films. Now, back in the days. Nowadays, he's not really doing very well. But back in the days, like The Mummy here, he does an awesome job into directing his movies. So, and then we also have like Odeyo for her. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's the Magi leader. Him and his team are the people who protect from the Mummy of being ever resurrected, and so of course he fails twice. And then there's John Hannah, who's the comedic character who performs the cosmic relief of the whole entire movie. So just to give a little humor into the whole thing, and I think that he does a really good job at it too. I mean, Brendan Fraser has a lot of humor in the movie as well, so I think he does a splendid job with that. But other than that, I mean, the movie is so awesome. I never get tired of watching it. The movie is practically, what is it, 15 to somewhat years old, going to 20 years now, 20 years old. But it's still a fun movie to watch, and it's also a great movie to watch during the summertime. I never get tired of it. So the Mummy 1999 with Brendan Fraser, I'd have to rate it a very awesome 8.3. I had a fun time with it, and I hope that you guys did too. So on to the 2017 version of The Mummy, directed by Alex Kurtzman and starring Tom Cruise and Sofia Sofia Boutella. And this one I actually watched today, and I was so excited to want to see it because, of course, it is the first film in the Dark Universe. And I wanted this to be not that much of a success, but at least to where it gets you intrigued into wanting to see what comes next. You know, like to pull you into having to be wanting to be part of this universe. So when I watched it, I didn't really feel anywhere connected to the characters. I didn't feel that I had any chance of having to care for the story. I mean, if this universe continues to extend like they say they will, I mean, that's awesome. I would love to see more of the films, but the fact is that if it doesn't succeed, I really don't really give 2 cents about it going anywhere further. And there's a little bit of Easter eggs and cameos in this movie that have a lot of comparison to the 99 version of The Mummy. And if you guys have watched it, you guys will probably know what I'm talking about. But like I said, no spoilers. So, but anyways, the the movie, it has Tom Cruise he plays a character named Nick Morton, and he's joined by his partner in crime, Jake Johnson, whose name is Sergeant Vale. And of course, we have Mr. Russell Crowe, who plays Dr. Henry Jekyll, who we all know is also Mr. Hyde. And of course, the female lead is Annabelle Wallace, who plays Jenny Halesley, and she's pretty much just the female lead, you know, the personal love interest to Tom Cruise in the movie. I mean, if you have an epic action movie, you always get to have a female lead, especially nowadays, where the female characters, or they have strong female characters in movies now. But otherwise, she just not really. If she didn't exist in the movie wouldn't be any different. And of course, the mummy herself, Sofia Boutella as Aminet. And it's a slight turn as to where we had Arnold Vosloo playing the mummy, who was a male version of him, of the mummy, and now we have the female version. And and I really do think that they're really taking this to a different direction when it comes to having a female leading mummy. And and I think that she did an awesome performance. I am well aware of her work, and she does a really great job. She's a very talented actress, and she played this role very well. And if she is to continue on with the Dark Universe, I think that I'll be looking very forward into seeing what she has in the future in these films. And I love Russell Crowe's performance as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He does play Mr. Hyde in this movie, and I think that he does an awesome job. I always love him in all of his movies. He does a great, splendid job. And then the music is done by Brian Tyler, and I'm a fan of movie music, and the music in this didn't really capture me into wanting to listen to it. It didn't really pull me in. But the only plus that I did like about this is the fact that in the very beginning, where we first get a glimpse of the Dark Universe logo. You have the Universal logo that comes up, and then it turns around to where it becomes the Dark Universe. And I thought that was just splendid, especially on the big screen. So that's very great. And but if you were to have to ask me, let's go back to where we first started off with. Back in 2008 with Marvel, when they first introduced us to Iron Man, we didn't expect for Iron Man to become the first movie of an extended cinematic universe. And so at the end, where we have Samuel L. Jackson coming into the scene, it blew your mind, because there's more to it, more than just Iron Man. There's going to be more superheroes involved into this whole world. So I wish we could have gotten that same thing in this one, in The Mummy. Not to have any expectations, but to enjoy the movie itself alone, not to think about what's going to be further ahead in the future. And just to point out, it's not a big spoiler, but it's just the fact that, and if you guys don't want to know, just go ahead and pause or stop the video and then skip ahead to where I don't talk about it anymore. I'll go like this once I'm done. But anyways, spoiler alert right now is the fact that there is no ending credit scene. There's no ending credit scene, so don't really sit through the credits expecting anything. I know you guys don't really like to sit through the whole entire thing, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a heads up that there is no end credit scene. I wish there was, but of course there isn't. So spoiler over. And I'm gonna go ahead and rate this movie. I'm sorry, but it was a terrible movie. I left without a smile on my face, and I was a little bit disappointed about the whole thing. So I'd have to say I'm going to have to rate this a 4.9. It's not terrible, nor is it good. It's just an okay movie. It's a great summer blockbuster film. I'm glad that I got to go and see it. I did have fun. I was very entertained, but not very well enough to where I can leave and say, hey, I loved it. So 4.9 I do rate for 2017's The Mummy, and an 8.3 towards the 99 version of The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. I would love to see more of this Dark Universe. Hopefully we get to, if it does succeed throughout this first weekend at the box office. Thank you guys so much for taking in the time to watch my videos. You guys are an awesome inspiration. I really do look forward to seeing more movies and talk to you guys about movies. If you guys have any other requests or questions, comments, or concerns, please comment in the comment section below, and we'll go ahead and have an awesome conversation regarding towards movies. Thank you guys so much. Looking forward to seeing you guys at the movies. Have an awesome weekend. Take care. Bye.